Hey guys, it's me, Rich. Something big just happened and you probably didn't see it coming. You're about to learn how a Supreme Court move in Texas may reshape your House majority, your elections, the future of the Republic. What I'm about to show you is that this story is louder, bigger, and much more strategic than anything the media is admitting. In fact, the media are trying to say that this is a win for Democrats when that is the furthest thing from the truth. The Supreme Court didn't just issue a ruling. It disrupted an entire political operation. This video walks you through what happened, why it matters, and what may be coming next for America First power shifts. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to RPW Media, where common sense destroys woke insanity every single time. Look, if you like our videos and you haven't done so already, you should become a subscriber to the channel. You can hit the notification bell and smack that like button because it helps us get our message out to a lot more people. Also, you'll be reminded every time we put out a new video. Let's walk through what just took place because a lot of people did not expect it. A major victory came out of the Supreme Court, and it arrived right after a federal judge tried to interfere with an America First realignment. Now, I've done a few videos on different parts of this topic, and today I'm going to show you why the Constitution still matters. There's a lot going on right now that seems pretty chaotic, but I'm going to break it down for you to make it easy to follow so that you can argue with your libnut friends. And why do you even have libnut friends? The suspense is building faster than Texas Democrats fleeing a quorum vote. Now, Texas passed a new congressional map that added 5 GOP seats, and Democrats pretty much panicked. You remember that. Texas Democrats literally ran away from the state to block a quorum, and they went to the most racially gerrymandered state in the country, Illinois, to hide out. It slowed everything down, but it never stopped anything. Nothing creates panic in a political machine faster than realizing that old tricks aren't working anymore. Now, Republicans pushed the map through using their supermajority. It was 100% legal and constitutional. The Democrats just don't like it. Now, after Republicans put that bill through, the most dangerous place to be was between a Democrat and a courtroom. So Democrats sprinted to the courts because that's what they do when they can't get things passed legislatively that they want. They rely on hand-picked activist judges to do their work. In this case, a federal judge violated the Constitution itself. I'll explain now. You need to understand this clearly because every left-wing activist with a laptop is already typing the same talking points. They want you to believe Texas Republicans acted out of racism when they actually dismantled a racist gerrymandering scheme that Democrats have protected for decades, not just in Texas, throughout the country. The League of United Latin American Citizens and other left-wing groups claim Texas racially gerrymandered the map. Their argument fell apart immediately. If a map protects minority blocks, they say the Voting Rights Act demands it. If a map benefits white voters, they scream racism. Their standard shifts depending on who wins. You cannot take that seriously. Now, a little history helps here. The 1965 Voting Rights Act protected Black Americans from being able to vote for who they wanted without racist Democrats blocking them at the polls. Then in 1986, Thornburg v. Gingles case created majority-minority districts. I know it makes no sense to me either, but that's what they did. Now, Democrats used that ruling to stitch Black neighborhoods together that were probably 10 miles apart just to form a district. The goal was obvious. It broke up districts to remove white members from Congress and replace them with Black members. That system was as racist as the day is long, yet everyone looked the other way because, obviously, Republicans just fixed the map by creating districts made of actual communities where people live together and share interests. Democrats lost their engineered system and screamed foul. The lawsuit went to a 3-panel judge in El Paso. Here's where the confusion took off. Judge Jeffrey Brown ruled against Texas. Yes, he is a Trump appointee, which made the ruling even stranger. He blocked Texas from using the new map and told the state to revert to the old Democrat-friendly map. Now, here is the problem for the judge. Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution says that state legislatures create election laws, which includes redistricting. Judges do not have that authority, which makes Brown's decision pretty baffling. The panel is split 2-1. The Obama judge on the panel teamed up with Brown, of course. Judge Jerry Smith, however, a Reagan appointee, delivered a dissent so explosive it nearly left scorch marks. He called Brown's ruling the most blatant exercise of judicial activism he had ever seen. He repeated it when he said it was the most outrageous conduct by a judge he had ever witnessed. That dissent told you everything. So did Gavin Newsom's celebration. The whole case smelled like political theater. But then the real authority stepped in. Texas filed an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton warned radical left-wing activists are once again abusing the judicial system to derail the Republican agenda, steal the U.S. House for the Democrats. Now, no matter what the Democrats are going to tell you, that is exactly the truth. They are trying to steal the House for the Democrats. Now, the timing was critical. Candidate filing closes December 8. Early voting for the March primary is only 90 days away. Deadlines like that create pressure that exposes who actually holds power. So Texas filed. Less than an hour later, Justice Sam Alito issued an administrative stay late Friday night that erased the lower court ruling instantly. The Republican map went back into effect. Alito gave plaintiffs until today to explain themselves. I think it's by 4 o'clock this afternoon, 4 or 5 Eastern time. Then the full Supreme Court will decide whether the stay remains through the election. Now, legal experts expect Texas to win again because of that pesky thing known as Article 1, Section 4. But there's more. I mean, the Supreme Court is also reviewing Louisiana v. Calais, where plaintiffs say that the Gingles racial gerrymandering ruling back in 1986 violates the 14th and 15th Amendments. Now, if the court agrees, Democrats could lose up to 18 House seats overnight. Now, this fight reaches far beyond Texas. It's about whether Republicans can keep the House during President Trump's term, which has only happened 3 times in American history. The party in the White House almost always loses the midterms. But Republicans have a rare advantage because mid-decade redistricting is happening across the country. And the Democrats, they have earned nothing. They learned nothing from their 2024 losses. Their only strategy is to lie about Trump and Republicans and hope that rage drags their voters to the polls. Now, Kansas, Missouri, North Carolina, maybe even New Hampshire, if their rhino Republican governor would get off her ass, they will bring in at least 1 seat each for the GOP. Florida may add up to 4. Ohio could add 2 or 3. South Carolina, Indiana. I mean, the momentum is sweeping across the map. Now, the GOP could also gain as many as 19 seats if the Calais case throws out Gingles. Now, this ruling has the potential to create a new political period and possibly for the 4th time in U.S. history that the governing party gains midterm seats. And now the point everyone is ignoring. In 2019, the Supreme Court ruled partisan gerrymandering is legal. In other words, if you are the party in power of a state legislature, you are allowed to gerrymander in favor of your party. Elections have consequences. Judges cannot block maps that benefit a political party. That's according to the Supreme Court ruling. Judge Brown pretended that Texas used race instead of politics. Judge Smith destroyed that logic. Mid-cycle redistricting is political. Politics is legal. Now, Justice Alito restored the GOP map. And unless something unexpected happens, Texas will win this. Now, the momentum is shifting fast, faster than the mainstream media is willing to admit. The Supreme Court intervention here signaled that rogue judges aren't getting the last word anymore. The America First realignment is gaining speed. Texas is back on track, and multiple states are flipping blue engineered racially districts into real community representation. The upside is simple. Momentum is now on your side, and the House majority in President Trump's term may become stronger than anyone predicted. Godspeed all. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.